I want to run for Prime Minister of Canada. It's something that I've dreamt about all my life. I know many of you may laugh at me because of our current situation, um, you know, being in poverty and all and experiencing homelessness. Um, but that's not our forever story. And I just wanted to share that dream with you. I remember being a little girl and dreaming about becoming Prime Minister of Canada. And back then, it seemed like a pipe dream to a lot of people that a woman could ever be the Prime Minister. But times have changed. We've progressed. And I think that a woman could run this country very well. Much better than Trudeau ever could. Or Pierre Poilievre, because I have stuff to say about both of them. I have much to say. You know, it's really sad that when it comes to election time, people have to consider the lesser of the evils. Many people are not satisfied with any of the choices for leadership, but they have to weigh it out. Like, who's going to be worse for our country? I know many of you, a few years back, and now I'm gonna talk about the U.S. for a minute because, honestly, my heart is with both countries. I remember many people only voted for Joe Biden because they thought that Donald Trump was the worst choice, but they still weren't confident with Joe Biden. But look how that turned out. Sleepy Joe Biden, that degenerate old man that, should be in an old folks home, that is not even making his own decisions, like he's being puppeteered. Man, it's so sad. Now I'm going to turn back to you know what? No, I want to touch on that for a minute. With Joe Biden's cognitive decline that is so apparent to the entire world, how is he still in office? With his cognitive decline, like extreme. If you don't believe me, look at his interviews and his responses. He is incoherent. And he's a babbling buffoon. How is that allowed to continue? Like, that in and of itself is so corrupt. Like, he's humiliating himself and his country. And at a time that is so dire, like when we're in World War III. We're not on the brink of it anymore. Here we are. And we need good leadership. Now I'm going to turn back to our country. So a few months back, Pierre Poilievre met with Joe Biden. And then later on, Pierre Poilievre gave an interview, press conference, and the journalist asked how that meeting went. And Pierre Poilievre's answer was that him and Joe Biden. Now, I'm going to prove to you right now that he's a racist. And if you don't believe me, go and do your research. Pierre Poilievre said at that press conference that him and Joe Biden chuckled and laughed about how the only, I'm gonna say his words verbatim. I gotta get it out there. Pierre Poilievre, his exact words were that him and Joe Biden agreed that there's only two kind of people in the world: people that are Irish and people that wish they were Irish. Pierre Poilievre, the person that's running for Prime Minister of Canada, the person that many of you are about to elect, stated verbatim that him and Joe Biden, the only common ground that they could come to was that there are only two kind of peoples in the world. People that are Irish and people that wish they were Irish. I have Irish descent. I'm a proud Irish woman. I'm a mixed breed, for sure. But I would never say that. How can you run for president? Sorry, we're Prime Minister in Canada. How can you run for Prime Minister of Canada and make such a statement when running a country is supposed to be about inclusivity, equality, caring about the people of all races, creeds, ethnicities, colors? But then you make a statement like that in a press conference. I want Pierre Poilievre to issue an apology for what he said. I want him to issue an apology to all of Canada. And I want Trudeau to step down because that clown has done enough harm for our country. And I am quite serious about everything that I said. I mean what I say what I mean. Unlike some people, unlike my competitors.